What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? And you would have thought today would have been a Friday. I think someone got that memo mixed up, and they may take it profit Thursday, apparently, because we just sold off. What's going on, guys? It's Today was quite interesting, especially towards the close. We really struggled today. Another day of Mr. Powell, although we just had a recording of Mr. Powell that was short and sweet, kind of just relayed everything, reiterated a lot of the different stuff that he's already said. Though there is a lot of different tax stuff coming out. I haven't been up to date on the tax stuff, but it seems to be affecting the market. The bonds continue to fall today, actually, for a while. But being said, the market wasn't really buying into it, and then the market kind of just picked up. The bonds started pushing back up, and the market started actually falling. So, I mean, being said, interesting day to say the least. I mean, there's nothing to really exactly pinpoint what is going on. It is just the market being funky, to be honest. Right now, again, the yields are up really high. There's still a lot of concern with that. Being said, I don't know if Mr. Powell is being pushed to do something, but he is still not doing anything with his particular position. So being said, we can beat that one with it like a dead horse, but nonetheless, I mean, it's definitely it's an interesting time right now. There's been a lot of rattle, a lot of promising pushes, and then stalls and drops, and it's been a long March, and we still got a ways to go. We still got another week and a half of March. So before we get started, remember to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And we will pull up the charts to take a look at what there is and what there isn't. So like I said, the bonds actually sold off pretty hardcore this morning, actually hit a good base and started pushing back up. We did have quite a bit of a battle earlier in the day where we just kind of whipsawed back and forth. I didn't really see any standalone runners. Everything kind of did the same thing, pumped and then kind of pulled back to open, and then just continued to battle there all day long. That's essentially what we did all day. Even on the SPY, I mean, we pumped pretty hard coming out of the gates. And then, again, we just rattled. That's all we did all day. And then finally, towards the end of the day, again, I don't know if there was any specific news that came out. I did see an article saying that Powell will actually make 3 public appearances next week. So I'm not quite sure what that's all about. Maybe people are pressing him to do something with the rates, increase everything. Though, again, he reiterated in his video today a lot of the same stuff. It's again hard to say. I mean, he may come on next week and change his mind. I really don't think anything is going to change. He said we would go through some pain, and that's essentially what we're seeing. So it's just trying to play out what is going on. I myself, today, I just scalped. I scalped all day. That's all I've been doing. I still have all my common positions. Again, those are for longer swings for the year. But ultimately, as far as like any nightly swings, weekly swings, I'm pretty much out of everything. Like I have some positions that I've held that have leaps in them, but my main trading account, I've just been pretty much scalping in there. So I've still been good in the green in that one, holding that one. But ultimately, again, the swings, the longer swings have taken a bit of a hit. But nonetheless, I mean, they were close to back even, and some of them were actually up quite a bit before this last little pullback here overnight. But being said, tomorrow is Friday, so it is Take Profit Friday. It'd be interesting to see what happens. The market looks like it wants to push up, but it is broke down below the 200, so I wouldn't actually be surprised tomorrow. Yeah, that first support is here at the 389 mark. I was expecting this to hit and it pretty much came close. It came pretty close, so it probably actually tagged there. Again, it'll be interesting to see where we are tomorrow. Maybe there's just panic and we get back up and come back at this level tomorrow and try it again. But like I said, definitely risk management right now. Swinging is not the best if you're looking for a couple days swing, anything like that. If you cannot intraday trade, I would just wait. Even if you're trying to invest, I would probably give it a couple days, and that way you can get better position at that point. Being said, Tesla, normally when Tesla sells, I scalp. I did take a scalp here at this retest that held again. I cut it up here. I scalped that one there, and then I did take another scalp down here on this resistance line. Rode that back up. Nothing major, but I got a couple scalps. I also got a scalp in Airbnb today. Came into the zone this morning, caught it, rode it back up, and I cut it in the profit. So I had a couple scalps. I didn't go too crazy. Trying to keep it to the stocks that I really like, which is Tesla and Airbnb for scalping. They provide good liquidity, and they move well and respect report resistance pretty well. So you get some good bounces off those. But nonetheless, I mean, other than that, I mean, it's to take any other like longer term positions at this moment. It's just trying to let everything shake out and let it be what it is. But again, tomorrow's take profit. So it'll be interesting to see what we have tomorrow. We'll definitely be slow tomorrow. I want to see how the market is reacting, see if there's any more news. I mean, for all we know, something else can come out and we could explode back up to all-time highs. It's just really tech. Tech has really been held down. So somehow we still managed to make it to all-time highs. Tech really hasn't done a whole lot. It was trying there for a couple days. It looked like tech was back, and then now tech is doing a bit of selling again. So again, Apple's struggling. We'll see what happens. But ultimately on the dailies even, I mean, on the dailies, it looks like it might come back down to test the 200. Could be a possibility on some of these. Even Tesla could possibly come back down, just as long as it doesn't, break that 565 mark and kind of hovers around that 606 mark or so. I think we should still be good. It might be a higher low and start working our way back up out of this little funk I think we're in, because that's exactly what I'm gonna call it. This bond funk that we're in is exactly what it is. But being said, everything is essentially, I mean, everything broke and is back down below. So again, high conviction. If you're looking for investments, high conviction, give it another day or two if you're looking for investments and kind of see where it plays out. Or if you're averaging down, find good supports and average down. But SQ, SQ is all right. I mean, nothing's real. The only thing that's been really holding is Facebook has actually been holding tremendously through this whole thing. But Facebook is definitely one of the ones, the tech stocks that have been holding really well through all this stuff. So it is interesting to see if it does come down, look for a nice base again. I think a good base would probably be that 266 mark if it does come back down to that. Roblox actually took a massive hit today. Looks like we might actually get down that 65 mark. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. BYND also doing pretty bad. I mean, everything's pulling back. I don't think the banks were playing well this morning. Tech, obviously, I play a lot of tech. Energy, I am in a leap in this, and this is still holding fairly decently. Planter, still holding fairly decently, although it's pulled off since Tuesday, because I know the CEO came on. He was talking about that short-term traders need to forget about Palantir, that they need to worry about more of the long-term investment kind of thing. So that was kind of some negative news on that. And then it kind of got hit from that and it's gone down since. But ultimately, it's still doing good as long as it stays around that 25 or this particular range here, which it was over the few weeks. We did take that nosedive down. So NNDM is also the same. It's playing range well still. I got commons in those. NNOX is still holding really well, to be honest. I might actually look at this tomorrow. Fastly's taking a dip. Roku's taking a dip. Baidu is actually holding fairly well here, even though with everything that's going on. The very good company actually took one big dip before it closed and got bought right back up. So Planet 13 took a dip. It's still in range. A lot of these are taking a dip, so it could just be a quick scarcity thing. Tomorrow we could open up and everything will be right back to normal. Ultimately, just be careful, be wary, be cautious. Again, we're still in March. There's still a lot going on. There's a lot of different changes going on with policy. So that is the biggest thing, is just realize that's what's going on. And again, the bond market. So you're fighting against the trend here, kind of. So just be patient, right? Ultimately, I still believe there's still a big bull market coming. There's tons of money in the market. If you can look at the macro of everything, understand that ultimately it will be. I still think you should sit in a lot of cash, as much cash as possible right now, until, if you are currently sitting in that position. Again, this isn't financial advice, but wait until there is full confirmation. I know we had a big fake out here, started running up, and then bond just kind of took everything back down. But again, I think it's just shaking a lot of people out right now. Ultimately, depending on your strategy, if you're swing trading, investing for the long term, then now would be a good time to do that. But aside from that, if you're not intraday scalping, it's better to just sit on your hands, come back when everything is figured out what it's doing. But ultimately, Biogen still floating there, still has a nice range here going. Chips, I mean, everything is just taking a hit. If it's any at all tech related, is definitely taking a hit. It's HD. So some of the value plays are still holding fairly well for the most part. I mean, they still kind of really dipped today. I don't think anything kind of held today. I think everything pulled back on that last one. Again, I don't know if it's Powell making his 3 appearances, announcing that towards right after the close today, if that's what it was, or what the case was. But ultimately, yeah, see, even airlines kind of took a dip there towards the end of the day. And then Peloton had some bad news. I guess some kid got injured and another kid got actually killed. I don't know the full story behind that. But if you are an investor at Peloton, I would definitely look into it. But there was news on that today. It didn't really seem to affect it or get out there quick. I know the CEO, I think, was going on the horn, trying to put out press releases as quick as possible to try to front run the whole thing. But nonetheless, let's see what else is there. Skills. I mean, everything right now. Again, you do have some individual ones that are running. You're going to have the spare individual ones. The smaller stocks typically won't get affected that much. Even like this one, this Applied UV company here. I mean, it's still holding well for the most part. WWE is still holding well. GME, AMC still holding well. TAP, pullback. Some of them are, some of them aren't. It really just depends. This market has been really weird. Bitcoin looks like it started pushing up again. Target still holding well. REI taking a pullback. Plug, pullback. DM. 3D printing actually held up pretty decently. It didn't take a big hit today. This is another one I've been looking at. This blockchain, this BID CF. So it's also does NFTs as well. There's a lot of different blockchain. I'm still trying to do some research on this before taking a position on this, because I want to know how it's correlated to NFTs. But this one could be one you could look at if you are interested in that NFT space. Let's see here. Saba is pulling back pretty hard here. Yeah, so There really isn't much, and it is Friday today. I know this video is short, but nonetheless, I think more of this is just a cautious scenario. It is Friday. Not every day is a trading day, right? Like even the trades I took today were just small scalps. Been a profitable week, but again, from a bull run compared to a bull run week, it's way different than that. But we're green, so that's all that matters ultimately. The volatility is definitely there. If you're new to the markets, welcome to the volatility, because over the past couple of years, the volatility has really been force fed down a lot of traders, investors' throats. But ultimately, understand that you got to be more macro focused. Time and patience will play out for you best in this environment. Ultimately, if you're not a scalper, just wait on your hands till we get confirmation, then start buying, or you can buy in the dips, however you want to do it. Again, this isn't financial advice. Just be mindful. I want a whole account something. If something looks good and you like the company, definitely slowly buy your way in. I wouldn't just one lump sum, that is for sure. But again, not financial advice. So for tomorrow, just again, be safe, manage risk, and we'll see you guys on the weekly update. Till then, take care, guys. Bye.